everybody, it's Kia. So today I thought we would go ahead and run through the July 10th through July 15th paycheck budget. I actually tried to record this while I was filling it out, but I was having issues with the computer and I'm now using my laptop. So if you hear the fan in the background, I'm sorry about that. Between the fan and the air conditioner, I'm not really sure what's going to come through on the audio. So, but it's already like 90 degrees here in New Mexico and it's really early in the morning. So I don't want to turn the air conditioner off because then it'll be really hot this afternoon. So let's go ahead and dive in. I did decide to go ahead and combine both my husband's and my paycheck budgets together. I think it'll just work out to do one at the beginning of the month, one in the middle of the month for both paychecks, and then one at the end of the month when I get paid, just because they end up hitting separate tracking periods. And then I'll probably close that one out at the end of the month a little early when I get ready for the next budget. So, but this payday, we're going to have my normal salary. Now my husband's paycheck, I'm not really sure what that one's going to be. So I went ahead and did $1,300 for that one. And then our roll forward is going to be $1,865. I think I was $80 off on the other one. And I was looking at it thinking, gosh, that just doesn't seem to add up. But I think I missed one of the credit card payments in the other balance. So when I updated on YNAB, that's what it said I had left over. And so that gives us total cash flow of $5,015 to work with. Autofill, we're going to do the same $100. Auto insurance, I'm going to get this taken care of. Hopefully after the 15th, I won't be working such crazy hours. I'll get back to being able to take a regular lunch again, things like that. So I will call the insurance company and figure out what I need to do to get that one taken care of and get us off of the quarterly billing because I really want that to go away. Entertainment, we're going to do our Netflix and our Spotify subscriptions. Groceries, we're doing pretty good on groceries, so we really just need milk and, lunch stuff, things like that. So I'm going to do $200 for groceries. And then homeschool, I'm going to budget $100 for that. I'm almost done buying all the homeschool stuff. I just need a couple supplies to bind the rest of the kids' books that I'm going to end up printing out. And then I need to buy my daughter's math program. This year we're going to try the teaching textbooks online one instead of the discs. So we'll see how that goes. Kids allowance, this was actually a roll forward. They didn't get their allowance last week because this isn't allowance for doing their normal chores. It's allowance for going above and beyond with helping out around the house. They're little mess makers, and I don't think that they need to be paid for cleaning up their own mess. So as long as they do help out around the house and they do extra things on top of keeping up on top of their mess, then they'll get their allowance. Life insurance, that's the normal amount that I budget for. Medical, I did want to go ahead and say back for some medical. My husband should be getting in touch with the billing office to see if maybe he can go ahead and pay for the therapy appointments since they've been doing it by phone. They haven't been paying that every time. So pets, we do have our Chewy order. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about the Chewy order. I think I'll probably just get the dog food for now. But I did want a little bit of wiggle room because I am going to need supplies for my fish tank. It's going to be time to start changing out parts of the filtration in the big canister filter. So I wanted a little bit of wiggle room so that we can buy those items if I don't have them. I've got to go dig through the cabinets, see what I have. Shopping, we're going to do $150. And that's just going to be just general shopping. So hopefully we can stay within that budget. A lot of it's really going to depend on overtime. And then telephone, we're going to have $375. Student loan, we're only paying on one of our student loans right now because the other ones are on forbearance because of COVID. And then we've got both of our auto loans. I pay both of them on the 20th, so they come up to $695 together. So that leaves total expenses of $2,485. And then down at the very, very bottom, I've got my sinking funds. So these are things that are still just kind of hanging out in the cash register. I haven't really done anything with them. So bill savings, we're going to hold back $335 for next payday. Debt savings, I am going to add $280 to our debt savings, which brings it up to a $600 balance. I am trying to get that Capital One card paid off, and if everything goes smooth, then I think I'll have it paid off at the end of the month. And then I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to use that debt savings to apply to something else, or if I'm going to fund more of our emergency fund, or if I'm going to leave it in the checking account as a buffer. So we'll see kind of what we decide to do with that. We probably won't decide until the end of the month though. And then roll forward, I have $340 left over after we account for the bills and the debt savings. And that's my husband's therapy appointments. And then I think I've got a little bit of cash left over just as a buffer in the account. So all together, we've got $1,275 as a sinking fund in the checking account. All the other sinking funds, I actually transfer out into savings accounts. So when I do transfer the money out, they don't get included in this total here. And then debt. Most of our credit cards are actually due between the 11th and the 20th. So they really hit this pay period. So we are going to do a $500 payment on our debt snowball towards Capital One. We were a little undecided on that for a little bit, but I think I have enough in the debt savings that if we need to do the electrical fence for the dogs to keep them from getting out of the regular fence, then we can pull it from that. So we are going to go ahead and put $500 towards Capital One. And then these are just all the other credit cards that are going to be due this pay period, as well as the ones that I was saving for last pay period for this pay period. So we have Best Buy, Amazon, City, both Discovers. We have Sam's Club, Capital One. This one's a GMC card that we have. We also have a small Visa card that my husband has, Chase Amazon, the regular Chase, Bank of America, Capital One. This is the small MasterCard. And then we have the Affirm 4 loan. Now, that doesn't mean that we have 4 Affirm loans. This is just the 4th one that we've done through them. And this one's for my daughter, and this one's actually the last one we have. So I think I'll have that one paid off next month. And then I had not been budgeting for my husband's 2 credit cards that are his. Those are his. I don't do anything with the balance, anything like that. He wanted something just for him because I pretty much control the rest of the finances. And so I just before was making sure that we had money in the account when they came out, but they weren't really included in the budget. So I decided to go ahead and put them in here. So I think PayPal is going to be $45, just looking back at what the payment has been in the past. And same thing with Newegg. I think it's going to be about $55. But there's a transaction pending the bank account now, and it just says Synchrony. So I don't know if that's a Newegg card or not. Hopefully it'll tell me when it finally pens. So I think that's going to be the Newegg card. And if it is, then the payment's actually only $25. So in total, we've got $1,255 earmarked out for debt. And then we're not going to be planning on any kind of savings at the moment because it's all just tied up in the sinking funds. And then to-dos, I am going to call that stupid car auto insurance company after the 15th and get that paid off and get them back on a monthly billing cycle. I don't want to be quarterly. So I made a little note there. That way, as I'm kind of flipping through my planner, I see that. And then the other thing is that I'm sorry, I'm choked up this morning. I need to check on our water bill balance again. We don't always spend the $55 that I allocate towards the water company. It's easier for me to just have the bank to mail them a check every month for $55. So that built up a credit on our account. And at first we were going to use that credit because we have an above ground swimming pool, but with all the craziness and all that good stuff, we have not been able to take down the swimming pool. We've got to re-level it, all that good stuff. And then we would have to buy the filtration stuff. It does have a sand filter, and then we have to buy the chlorine and all that good stuff. So I don't think that we're going to do the swimming pool this month. So I'll probably check on our water bill balance just because if I do have an overpayment on that, then I don't want to budget for it on the next payday. So that's kind of where that one's at. And then I think that kind of takes care of my budgeting to-dos. The only other thing I need to do is get on Undebit so that I can record my payments. I love to do that because then I can see kind of our estimated payoff date when we're going to have all the credit cards paid off. I don't keep track of our auto loans and other things in indebted. I'm really just tracking the credit cards themselves. So I do like to see that. I think we're scheduled to pay everything off November or December of next year. So if we can keep on top of it, I think we can do it. So that's kind of what we're planning so far. But that should cover this paycheck budget. So thank you guys so much for watching it with me. I'm sorry it was a little fast, and hopefully you guys can see okay. Like I said, I am doing this on my laptop, so I don't have the same settings on my laptop as I do on my desktop, but hopefully it's not too bad. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and we'll see you again next time.